exactly tell the nation, what is it that our soldiers are protecting there? You tell us about the peacekeeping mission, and you find soldiers engaging with the enemy. Really, it doesn't give any sense. Are you waiting for war to start and try to engage the enemy as the soldiers? Here we're talking about soldiers of this country who are dying, protecting things. Tell us, tell the nation, tell the world, what is it that it's protected from that DRC at the expense of the poor masses of this country, whereby are being sacrificed to criminals? No one is protecting South Africans to go and protect and defend other countries instead of peacekeeping. This is not a peacekeeping. Can we think about the lives of these people?
South African deployment of soldiers to DRC is out of order. It must be withdrawn with immediate effect. Not that South Africa is not supposed to deploy in DRC. We're supposed to deploy in DRC and be in the forefront. We just don't have the army. Our army can't look after cabbages. I can't hire them in my farm to go and look after cabbages. We just don't have the army. The ANC has collapsed the army. That's why in the manifesto of the EFF we say, we will finance the army and make sure that it's properly trained and the necessary equipment needed for the success of the army is provided. The army has collapsed. How come the AK-47s just enter South Africa with ease? Look at what KwaZulu-Natal has become now, where guns are found with ease. AK-47 is associated with Mozambique. It's even on their logo. The flag of Mozambique has got AK-47 because that is a weapon of their choice. It has never been for us. Unless in exile, in MK and APLA and all of that. But we as a country, we don't count amongst ourselves the weapons that we prefer, AK-47. So it tells you this thing is entering somewhere. Where is the army? It's not there. There's no army. So they are sent there to be killed because they are not properly trained. They must come back home, and we must stop with any military deployment until we are fit and proper. Just take a walk and look at a South African soldier walking. You see a demoralized man who's carrying a rifle, and you see that rifle is heavy on him. He's not even fit to carry that rifle. They killed it. So, Cyril Ramaphosa wants to kill our children in DRC. Those rebels, DRC, they are well equipped. Who goes to a base of an army if you know that thing is an army and is powerful? You go to the base once you have undermined them. Base. That's why all of the army in the battlefield, when things are bad, they are called to retreat to the base. Because that's where you can regroup and attack. No, they come to a base. That's how weak you are. They come to your base and finish you off in your base. We were undermined to that level. And it's not for the first time. We were beaten in Central African Republic. Central African Republic, also in the base. We are attacked in the base. What kind of an army is this one that get easily attacked in a base? If you are saying you've got the army, and with so much money being used to go and finance the ANC election campaign. Because that's what they are doing. They are sending those soldiers there. The last time, you remember, the soldiers, SG, were complaining that they are deployed, was it July unrest or something? They didn't have food. They didn't have food. The soldiers did not have food. So who's going to fight with an empty stomach? How are you going to shoot that rifle with an empty stomach? They are not being fed. The situation has deteriorated. How do you have a base of the army in Northern Cape burning down without the army having the capacity to extinguish the fire itself? What if it was another country burning our army base? How is there? We're not going to defend ourselves. So many soldiers died in that base because there are no necessary equipment to deal with emergency like that. So, for you to open a lodge, SG, or to open this building, you are always asked, where are your safety plans? And they even want fire extinguisher certificates and all of that. Lodges of South Africa are more safer than army bases of South Africa. Because the army base has got no fire extinguisher. To a point where the army base gets burned and our brothers die. On a normal day, it's not war. On a normal day, it's not a war. You are sitting like that, the fire starts. It's not like, okay, we're fighting them, they are burning this side, we have to extinguish this side and run to the... On a normal day, there is a fire coming from there. It burns all of you. The last line of defense. So I will never agree that there must be any army of South Africa deployed anywhere, not under the circumstances. We have to re-equip and retrain our army. They say there are 2 fighter jets. What do you call it? Roy Falk. There in DRC with these soldiers. They are there. We are paying for them and all of that. They've never been in the air for more than a year. For more than a year. What are they doing in DRC? Because those are fighter jets. They must go there to fight. Get decoration, get art. In the base, they're using Roy Falk as art. Decoration. Plum board. You take the whole... Comrades, fighters, and the people of South Africa, our nation finds itself in the middle of a war in the Democratic Republic of Congo without a clear explanation as to why. As the EFF, we commend our courageous soldiers who fought bravely and placed their lives on the line in order that they must ensure there is peace and stability in the DRC. Our soldiers are disciplined and could never question those orders, and they have followed these orders with discipline. There can be no doubt that those soldiers who have passed on sacrificed their lives and deserve to be recognized and honored. However, at the heart of the conflict in the Congo is not a desire for peace, but the greed of the West for the minerals wealth of Congo. The DRC is a home of vast reserves of minerals essential for modern technology, including cobalt and tin, titanium and gold. Around 70% of the world cobalt, crucial for electric cars, batteries, and smartphones, comes from DRC, yet Congolese people see none of these riches. Instead, multinational corporations and West nations exploit these resources while fueling conflict to maintain their access. Over 200 companies from the UK and Belgium are involved in the purchasing minerals from the DRC, and these nations directly finance armed groups and perpetuate violence. These corporations and their governments remain complicit, failing to regulate supply chain or hold corporations accountable for using conflict minerals. The chaos in the DRC goes back to the colonial conquest, and today is sustained by imperialist interest to loot the wealth of the DRC. This conflict is equally fueled by ethnic divisions in the region. Comrades, it is here where the influence of Rwanda in the DRC emerges. As ethnic group that fled from Rwanda during the Rwandan genocide and settled in the Eastern Congo are used as the basis for Rwanda support for M23 rebel against the regime in the DRC, while Rwanda is simultaneously a proxy of Western interests in the Congo. The conflict in the DRC, therefore, does not require a head of state who suffers from a desire to be a hero at the expense of the lives of our soldiers without an appreciation of the condition that informs the conflict. It is when you do not appreciate the condition that inform the conflict in the DRC that you will speak in folk tongues when you speak to the president of Rwanda and communicate a different message to the people of South Africa. Lies have short legs, Mr. President, and we demand clarity from you because you have sent our soldiers to their death and then antagonized forces in their region, knowing very well you are not prepared for war. It is crucial for fellow fighters to acknowledge this history and ask ourselves what is the specific role of the South African National Defense Force in the Congo, and in whose interest is our mission in the Congo? Whose peace and stability are we pursuing in the Congo? Is peace and stability for the continent, or peace and stability for mining interests of global capitalists? Commissars and fighters, citizens of our great country, and our armed forces who are in the trenches in the Congo, I take this opportunity to caution the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, not to fall into the pitfalls of warmongering and not allow desperation to inspire a misguided intervention in the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. For centuries, when a nation is confronted by massive social and economic challenges such as poverty, starvation, homelessness, and unemployment, war has been a weapon of the ruling elite to mobilize patriotism. Those who have, over the years in modern society, lost of the popular mandate of the people have embarked on senseless wars, sacrificing soldiers in an attempt to unite the nation behind one common purpose and one